When you return to the Seamstresses Union in the early hours of the morning, it seems a completely different place. Bereft of the normal crowd that haunts it, the bar feels desolate, almost abandoned. It's eerie, like the back hallways of hotels and shopping malls. But you finally have a break in your case, a sample of the Ripper's blood. You just need to find someone to help you analyze it. Without its colorful staff, cast of regulars, and posing tourists, the Union feels hollow. The front bar and lounge are deserted except for a handful of janitors. Yeah, there's trash on the floor. Get to work. I can't go down there. Gathered around the intimate back bar, Miss Kubota and her coterie gather for breakfast, the lady herself doing the cooking. The smell of soy calf and something resembling sausages fill the room. Yeah, I can't go down there. Talk to Clue first. Evening, sir. What's the word around the town, Mr. Clue? There's been more talk of the Ripper killings. Some people are saying they're hate crimes on account of the victims all being human. What if I told you the prime suspects were an elf and a troll? That doesn't mean the killings are racially motivated. People are just too quick to label something a hate crime. Check the census. The city is still 66% humans. Close your eyes and throw a rock. You're more likely to hit a human. Doesn't make it a hate crime. Still a crime, though, and that should be enough. This is the first real rise you've seen out of Mr. Clue, but he reins himself in with a roll of his thick shoulders, and a smoothing of his jacket. Don't worry, not going to start throwing rocks. Wouldn't want to reinforce the stereotype. I'll leave you to your business, sir. Speak so well sometimes I forget I'm listening to an audiobook. Or not listening to an audiobook. Well, thank you very much. Reading is hard. I'll get better at it someday. Ohio. Would you like some? She stops. Forgive me, Ome, but you look like crap. Long night. She looks you over, noting the signs of your nocturnal activities. She nods. Any run you can walk away from is a good run. So I've been told. I can tell you have been busy, and I can see by the look on your face that there is something you need. Is it about the Ripper? Yep, I found some DNA evidence and need help analyzing it. That is excellent. I will unlock the piano so you may go downstairs. I am certain someone in the safe house will be able to help you if they are awake. It is likely you will visit the Matrix before the day is done. May I take a sausage? Take the whole plate. Okay. Where's my sausage? Want some eggs too. And some hash browns, you know, a little bit of hash browns on the side, you know. Maybe a little salt and pepper on there, you know. Give me a little bit of that. You've been doing a lot of legwork on this job, but it's going to require a trip to cyberspace and back to ID the Ripper. The Matrix, the cybernetic analog of the inside of the grid, the worldwide computer network, a digital world, information brought to life. Inside cyberspace, your avatar does all the work while your avatar does all the work while your meat body's left behind. This reads weird to me. All around your avatar are pathways to other nodes filled with data, IC, counter-intrusion programs, and other jacked-in runners. Cyberspace has many dangers as the meat world, and more. Locked doors, security countermeasures, and black IC that can fry a Decker's brain. Every movement you make in the Matrix can be tracked if you aren't careful. get dump shocked out and your brain gets fuzzy for a bit. Get hit with an enemy decker and you can die. Or get hit by an enemy decker and you can die. AKA, I do not want to go into the Matrix. Do I have any points? 12 points. Holy moly. How many hit points do I have? Maybe I should do a little bit more hit points here. So we'll do that. We have 3. I guess we'll go ranged combat and save 1. We can go dodge. Nothing wrong with that. Don't have any extra spells or items. And nobody normal is here. Gra. Hoping to get some peace and quiet tonight. You got something for me? I've got a flight recorder. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't happen to be an Ares flight recorder, would it? Some very powerful buyers are looking for that right now. I can get rid of it for you for, say, 20%. That leaves 2,000 for you. Deal. Pleasure doing business. My intelligence is 2. That it is. Morning. You look like you've been up all night. You look like you've seen some action, too. Can either of you two do a DNA analysis on a blood sample? Doc Castle's equipment isn't really set up for that. He considers for a minute. However, you could employ a semiconductor chip. It could decode DNA using a voltage change instead of light. That would eliminate the use of highly expensive equipment that would be required otherwise. He brightens. I just read a journal about it, so the information's still fresh. Frankly, it should be easy. What do you want to know about it? The owner's identity. Ah, that's beyond me. All I can get you is the gene code sequence. That's where I come in. David, if you can get me that code sequence, I'm pretty sure we can track its owner down via a matrix run. Will do. Let me have the DNA you want to test. Fry the blood sample. Ghost. When David sends me the sequence, I'll jack in and help you trace the blood sample back to its source. Thanks, guys. If this works, we may find the Emerald City Ripper. No Drek? He turns to Johnny excited. Wake up, Johnny boy. You've got work to do. And Ghost, if you need any gear, I'll be right here. I just got a second wind. Meet you at my rig, Ghost. Yeah, I need some gear. I need some hardware. It's not this kind of hardware. No Drek? It's a quick save. Thanks to the semiconductor-based gene sequencing system that David employed, we should have the information we need to track the Ripper in the Matrix. I'm really impressed with his results, considering it was his first attempt. He was utilizing an unproven technique he'd read about in a science journal, and he was working up from memory on minimal sleep. That's great, Professor. What's the plan? Oh boy. We hit the Lone Star DNA database first to see if our donor has a prior criminal record. They have extensive DNA archives. Then we go hunting based on what we find. Let's hit the decks and jack into the Matrix. I can get you into their private grid easily, but I've got to warn you, once we're in, it could get a little rough. How much decking experience have you had? No experience. What now? I have a Trode net here. It's a headband you wear that lets you piggyback me into the Matrix. You'll see and hear everything I do. Oh boy. Oh boy. Confirm. Your synapses light up as you connect your consciousness to the digital world. Although you aren't jacked in like Johnny, the sensation is overwhelming and electrifying. You can only imagine the way it feels for him. Jack in, Megaman, EXE! Now the arch will take us to the next node. I love that you hover on the smart answers, but pick more appropriate ones. Well, you know. Buff yourself. Let's attack. Okay, can I cannot do that. This guy has a lot of AP. This is Overwatch, I'm guessing. What do we have here? Creates an attacker expert system program. Oh, that was a consumable. I done goofed. I guess I can't, like, return you. Oh my gosh. This guy's super strong. Alright, the IC is down. Let's see if there is a match for this fingerprint. Hack DNA database. DNA match located, 100% match. Arrest records database. Subject, Silas Forsberg. Status deceased. Profession chop shop surgical assistant. Priors breaking and entering 2 counts. Public indecency 1 count. Brought in for questioning on accusations of unlicensed plastic surgery. No charges were filed. 100% match to a dead man. Let's keep looking. Time to hit the hay for you. It was nice seeing you stream. Hope to catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by, April. Appreciate it. See you on the flip side. Autopsy Records. Subject Silas Forsberg. Notes. Subject was found overdosed on half a dozen different sedatives. Several anti-anxiety medications were also found in his system. Face was mutilated, possibly self-inflicted. Identity could not be confirmed immediately due to the disfigurement. Had to check dental records to confirm. No next of kin. Large puncture wounds were found in several places on the body, possibly large bore surgical needles. Body had been decomposing for several weeks before the landlord noticed the smell and called the police when no one answered the door. This keeps getting weirder and weirder. That's why we sent him in first. Let's play around with your stuff first. Alright. Not gonna send him in just yet. Ooh, oh, that did damage to himself. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Vulnerable incoming damage plus 25%. Some HP to you. Newsnet 1, return on subject. Silas Forsberg. The body of Silas Forsberg, a chop shop surgical assistant, was found in an apartment in Snohomish earlier this week. The body had been there for as long as a month when Forsberg's landlord noticed a rancid smell and contacted authorities. Lone Star representatives have issued a statement saying Forsberg's death has been ruled a suicide. According to reports, his body a mass of puncture wounds. Again, reads weird. And the cause of death was determined to be an overdose of anti-stress medications and sedatives. The man's employer claims he was a dedicated employee, though he suffered from bouts of depression. Forsberg's next of kin could not be located, but the attorney appointed to his estate has located a will written weeks prior, leaving all of his belongings to a psychiatrist. The identity of the psychiatrist has not been released due to privacy concerns. Yet another sad end to a life, as is far too common here in Sprawl. Well, that might be something we can go on. Let's regroup in the meat space for a bit. Just in case. Could be dudes out here waiting for me. Here's what we know. Our DNA evidence belongs to a dead man whose death was never explained. He worked with chop shops, which fits the living guy that you've met. Technically, we've never met him. The Newsnet says he left his estate to a psychiatrist. Maybe finding out who his psychiatrist was will give us our next clue. My gut says we can deck in to the medical board's records and reverse trace this doctor. You win? Punch it, man. Oops. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. Oh. Yeah, this is very interesting. See if I can like buy something. Take a look. All right, consumables. That's an attacker. Let's buy an assassin. Oh, I can't. Okay, well, I done goofed. Okay, back you. And there we go. Beautiful. Searching medical records, Silas Forsberg. Medical records, file for Silas Forsberg located. Alright, 2020 to 2030. Pediatric record partial. One particular pediatrician's entry stands out from the rest. Child suffers from a chronic depression and social anxiety, most likely caused by his physical abnormalities. We've seen many cases like this recently, with the outbreak of changeling children being born. With the aberrant physiology we're seeing, there is no telling what sort of brain functions are affected. Prescribed a series of sedatives last year that seemed to have no effect, upping the dosage. Data missing or corrupted. Contact your administrator for help. File is quite large and takes well over an hour to read through. The final entry, however, is the most significant. It is written by Dr. Henry Holmes. Silas has overcome significant mental disorders and no longer goes through periods of violent episodes. Latest medications have proven especially effective, but I believe that being treated by another elf has significantly impacted his treatment. Unfortunately, my efforts to maintain an emotional boundary with him have proven challenging. He has bonded to me in an unhealthy and frankly an unnerving way. His hero worship exhibits itself in the form of mimicked speech patterns and adopting my dress. For this reason, and for the health of the patient, I am assigning another doctor to his case. I will inform him at his next session. Okay. Murder them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is nowhere near anything that I wanted to do. Let's hope this works. Alright. Oh, didn't matter. Employment records located. Henry Hollings Holmes, MD, PhD. Current employment status? Dr. Henry Holmes currently holds the position of Chief Psychiatrist and Administrator at Mercy Mental Hospital, Snohomish, Washington, UCAS. Previous employers? Psychiatrist in residence, Mercy Mental Hospital. Attending psychiatrist, Mercy Mental Hospital. Private practice. Well, he was doing private practice during the time. Interesting. Bingo, back to meat space again. Send the attack program in first, you know. Never know what kind of programs are going to ambush me. Oh, the dog is barking now. Reality is at the end of the day, contextually, and as the meat world comes back into your focus, or into focus, your head once again tries to settle on which world is the real one. While the philosophical question lingers, your meat body demands food and drink. You disconnect from your deck to find the Union's safe house has risen. I need equipment. Despite the hour, Buster is fastidiously putting together another wrinkle-free suit. He shows every indication that he's been up for hours, sunk to his elbows and in a dozen crates, each containing objects of sinister matte black hidden beneath curls of straw-colored packing foam. The foam flies out as he inventories the shipment, clinging to every surface except for Buster's immaculate suit. Just in time, I got a whole slew of new toys in from a supplier back east, factory fresh and still smelling of their mother's gun oil. Maybe there's something in this batch you'd be interested in. Let me see what you got. Well, this pistol is... Minus 2 AP, that's pretty nice. This is not a pistol, is it? Doesn't say. Oh, I need to up my stuff, so I'm gonna need quite a bit actually. Let's take both. Got 8 points. That might be enough. Here we go. Oh. Need the quickness. Alright. Guess it's a decent thing that I opted on both. Got another weapon slot. Algernon looks the same as always, so much that one might wonder if he ever takes time to eat or sleep. Perhaps his presence on this plane of existence is insubstantial enough that he isn't expected to, or subject to such base needs. Or perhaps he just does these things when no one is looking. Dark clouds surround you, my friend, but perhaps there is something I could provide you, or provide that would help whatever weighs so heavily upon you. See what you got. Powerbolt 2. Yep, we're going to throw that in there. Acid Stream 2. Requires spellcasting 4, though. We are not quite there yet. The Haste 3. Throw that in there. Ah, so I gotta buy them. Creates a shadow zone in which characters cannot be targeted nor target others. Interesting. Set 5 med cover barriers. Oh, that's what those are. Right. I don't know what's up with air barrier. Oof. Level 4. And that would be all of my money. I've been happy with the rank 1s. We did just pick up a new pistol, so maybe we don't want Powerbolt. It does 6 damage and 1 AP damage. And it has a cooldown, so it would be beneficial to buy another kind. But we don't really have a whole lot of spell slots. Would like this, but I don't see myself getting there quick enough. I guess we'll buy air barrier for now. All lightning. Whoa. let's confirm that. We want the Predator. Put a baseball bat there just in case. The lightning barrier. Oh, I'm never going to be able to use that. I need to remember that I have this. Confirm. Some new armor. Ooh, yeah, you got some new stuff. Charisma and spirit control. Oh, snaps. Grants charisma and spirit summoning. Some of this stuff is really good. This looks silly. Oh, I'm thinking about that one. There was another one, Charisma and Spirit Control. Actually, that's the one that I want. I want help with spirit control. I don't necessarily need to summon more powerful spirits right now. Excellent. Quick save. Talk to David. David looks almost as tired as you do. You can tell that this case has gotten under his skin like it has yours. Any luck in there? Found an exact match for the DNA, but it was linked to a dead chop shop assistant by the name of Silas Forsberg. Now, I have my theories, but what do you think is going on here, Ghost? What do I think? Identical twin brother? Kind of a stretch. Faked his death? Closer to what I'm looking at here. DNA evidence doesn't belong to the killer. Doesn't seem likely. So of these, the most likely is he faked his death. That's a distinct possibility. What was it that we saw in the autopsy report? The face was so mangled that they had to use dental records to identify him. Good catch. That matches up with something I've seen runners try. It's easy enough to find a body shop that'll make a replica set of teeth for you. Find some schlub off the street no one will miss, swap the teeth, and throw the heat off your trail for a while. Lucky I've never been that desperate. But why would he need to go through those lengths? Did the police records have something linking him to a different crime? He had a prior for unlicensed plastic surgery. True. Wouldn't look too good on someone's record if they wanted to become a doctor. I think this is beginning to come together. The late Silas left all his belongings to a doctor, Dr. Holmes. Employment records have him as the administrator at Mercy Mental, and the picture on his file matches the person you saw downtown. Same person this DNA belongs to. All the evidence points to him being your killer, whoever he really is. I should go find Dr. Holmes and ask him some very pointed questions. Please pay him my respects. I always find that high-caliber rounds get the message across. You should clearly hire some friends and go loaded for bear. I side-loaded a ton of valuable data from those Lone Star Matrix nodes. I side-loaded. Okay, I see what he's saying. Here's your cut. I'll see you later. How much did he give me? Okay, I got 4,000. I was hoping I can get a little bit more karma points. I need them. What's up, little doctor? Just one glance is all you need to tell that the good doctor is exhausted. Her crumpled scrubs are stained with a mix of blood and other fluids too colorful to be naturally occurring in the human body. Her eyes are those of a person who has built up a substantial sleep debt and has no idea when or how to begin paying it off. I'm not one to talk, but you look like Drek. Afraid there isn't much I can do for that. Doc Castle snaps her fingers and calls forth the spirit normally seen perched on her shoulder. It appears from out of the ether, and the doctor immediately seems less fatigued than she was a moment before. And what can I do for you? Let me check out your medical supplies. I haven't had to use much, thankfully. Let's just buy one of those. We will replace it with that. Mr. Delilah. Looking for human runners again. I'm your discreet service. Or I'm your guy, discreet service only. Need to hire a crew. Oh, their prices went up. And all of their prices went up. Oof. Oh. Yeah, let's bring you along. You're free. I wasn't too happy with Kendon, mostly because I didn't have any what's it called? Anything to deck. Where's the troll guy? There was a troll guy that had these abilities. Like, I guess maybe he's over here, but I thought he was over here. Okay, 10 damage. I don't know. He didn't do too bad. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I think we're gonna go with her, I believe. Actually, just in case we need a decker, we'll just bring him along again. The blood you found at the warehouse belongs to a man masquerading as one Dr. Holmes, and you've tracked him to Mercy Mental Hospital, located in the notoriously anti-metahuman farmlands of Snohomish. The drive to the hospital is long and unpleasant. Finally, you reach the walled and gated hospital compound. Despite the pretense of security, the gate is unguarded, unlocked, and open. No one stops or greets you as you drive up to the large crumbling building. Gothic ramparts top a damaged roof, cracked walls, and broken windows. All around the building is a lawn gone wild. Only the artificial light from within speaks of inhabitants. You walk up the hospital steps to confront Sam Watt's killer and bring an end to the Emerald City Ripper. Okay. This is the best I'm gonna do, unfortunately. See, we cannot swap out some stuff for you. You a grenade. Give you that. We're just gonna hope for the best.